Hey, I'm Carrie. Welcome back. Welcome for the first time all around. Welcome. I'm Carrieblogger, a full-time career freelancer on Fiverr.com where I work as a copywriter, branding expert, honest product reviewer, and a lot of other things like that. This is 6th, 7th year, somewhere in there, and I've completed more than 10,000 orders on Fiverr, which is where I exclusively sell. And over the course of all of that time, boy, do I have some stories to share. In today's Freelance Friday video, this is going to be a two-part kind of thing. So this week right now is story time of some of my worst client experiences, just like the worst. And then next week is going to be more of an actual educational, helpful situation, or I'm going to go through some of my suggestions for how to deal with difficult people. I probably should take more of that advice for myself, but I'm not quite there yet. So first, we're going to start with some of my worst scenarios. I have a few disclaimers to say. First of all, disclaimer, these situations are like really rare for me, honestly. Over the course of 10,000 orders, I think I have like 13 one-star reviews, like maybe 20 bad reviews in general. The number of really terrible interactions with people is really rare, and it has gotten a lot better over the years as I've charged more appropriately for the scale of my professional knowledge. I'm working with more like established small businesses and serious startups who have a serious goal and plan and are willing to invest in that to make it happen with a true professional partner. So in terms of that, I have a lot of stories kind of lingering in the back of my head, but overall, it is such a small percentage of what I do, and that's part of why I still love freelancing so much and I really enjoy my job. So even though I'm gonna get pretty heated, I'm pretty sure about like dragging back up these experiences, I know in my heart of hearts that it is such a tiny percentage, and of course, we should not dwell on the negatives, so that's just kind of a fast forward till next week's video. I will not dwell on the negatives. It's a small part, so don't think that this is my whole freelance career, okay? Okay. The other little disclaimer in this is that honestly, I've done a pretty darn good job of repressing most of these memories in my head. So I'm going to talk a lot about like the kind of personas and situations that are the most annoying to me in the worst case scenarios. But honestly, I can't think of that many very specific orders and like usernames in order to look them all up on my Fiverr account. Some of them do have like a one-star review that stuck and that I can look back on, and boy, do I remember that. Others I know for a fact happened, but I'm not gonna go search through that wall of negativity. So if some of them are not super specific stories, that does not mean that it did not crush my little soul when it happened. It just means that I'm trying really hard to not dwell on those specific details. And the third and final little disclaimer is that I know that there are bad apples everywhere. I know that every single job has trouble with people who are not kind and not forthcoming and not honest. And so, again, I don't want to make it seem like this is just a freelancing problem. I know that these kind of worst customer stories are hilarious and so funny to watch across YouTube and across every job because there's always bad stories. And so, yeah, I'm not acting like I'm some special little angel. I know that other people have equally bad and I'm sure worse customer stories, so this is just based on my personal experience. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna get heated. I'm gonna try to keep it cool. I'm gonna hear my mom's voice in my head saying, "Carrie, don't get yourself in a tizzy." I've also had people just actually make the craziest critiques, like that literally make no sense. I delivered this last week, which is why it's still in my brain right here. I delivered product photography for these little fluffy heart pillows, which honestly are super ugly in my opinion, but that's not my job. I'm not here to judge your product. So there are photos of these fluffy little pillows. And I fluffed them up and I like made them look fluffy. There's specific instructions where they should look as fluffy as possible. So I'm like, okay, let's fluff it up. And I delivered them and they looked cute. I was really proud of them. And the person literally said that I'm gonna put the picture here so you can. The person literally complained that they looked like needles, which made them incredibly uncomfortable. At one point they said it looked like a nightmare or like it was in a horror film. Are you looking at the same picture that I am? Are you kidding me? What the heck do you want? Like, I literally this is what your pillow looks like. And they send me a picture of a different pillow that is more like, it's a different thing. It's just different. And they're like, I want it to look like that. And I'm like, bro, that's not what your pillow looks like. And then they just keep going with these like really, honestly, like offensively stupid critiques that have nothing to do with this. And it's like, how do I meet this unattainable level of fluffiness? And then at some point I was literally just like, you know what? Which I rarely do. I'm usually like a stick to my guns until the end. I get so fired up about it. But I was having a really crappy week anyway, and I couldn't hang with the stress and the annoying complaints. So finally I was like, you know what? This is $100. I don't give a flying whatever about $100. Take your money, I don't have time for this. But of course I was trying to be very professional and prim in my like language to them, but literally as I'm typing that cancellation letter, I was just screaming profanity. And I don't know why it like gets to me so much, but no, I do know why. I do know why, because I'm so self-critical and analytical, and I will not ever deliver anything that is not up to my personal extremely high standards. So when I do something wrong, I am the first person to immediately fix it, tweak it, deliver for free, do extra, like do whatever it takes to make it right, because I'm honestly just like so upset that I would like fail like that. And so when someone comes to me with these absolutely ridiculous claims that I know are not true, like there's not even like an, oh, it could be interpreted that it's like a horror film. Look at this picture. This is not a horror film. I don't know what else to tell you. And
one eternity later.
So I get a little fired up. How did I let myself be that upset about it? And I'm still honestly upset about it. I'm not even upset about the money that I lost on the order or the time that I lost. I'm just upset that like someone didn't like what I did, and it's not for what I consider to be a valid, realistic reason. Horror film. I hate when people make up fake, or I'm gonna call it fake. I'm just gonna call it fake. I'm gonna call it what it is. Fake complaints. Either, I don't know what their point is. Like, are they just so unable to articulate what they're saying? Can you make it like so that the fur goes completely smooth and that's different than what I told you in the first place? I'd be like, we can do that, you know? Or are they just trying to like piss me off? Are they trying to get me to cancel so they can get the work for free? Probably, honestly, which is why I hold my ground so often and I won't cancel. Similarly, for a writing one, somehow this popped up in my memories like 3 days ago, so I wrote it down because I knew I was kind of planning for this video, this thing right here. And someone told me when I did a writing order, they said, oh, I think there were two different people actually. One person told me, am I high? They like literally said, how high are you right now? And then continued to like tell me that I must be on cocaine, meth, and they're just like listing drugs that I must be on if I thought that what I delivered was good. And then another person told me like straight up that a 5-year-old could have written better than I did. A 5-year-old, oh my God. So one of the biggest problems, as you would probably assume in freelancing, is just kind of getting the brief across. So what the customer wants me to do, I need to be able to understand that and work with it so that I can create the finished product that really fits their needs and their goals. I've gotten a heck of a lot better at this over the years, and I pretty much consider myself to be a mind reader. Honestly, you can tell me 3 facts about a product. I can work out in my head how to use it, what it's for, who their audience is. I can add all those details just inherently by understanding how it works from those little bit of information. And I can craft something that's pretty darn cool, in my opinion, that focuses and highlights on all those benefits. A lot of the time people tell me like, in the review or in the post delivery messages, they're like, honestly, I never would have thought to describe it that way. Like that didn't even cross my mind. You're a wizard, you're a mind reader, whatever. Those make me feel great. The things that make me feel not so great is when people provide incredibly specific instructions. Like they will tell me very, very clear facts And I'm like, cool, you've thought about it, you know what you want, it makes a heck of a lot of sense to you, it makes sense to me. I understand what we're going for. So I proceed with the delivery based on this very specific set of instructions. They told me to do something so specific. So I did, and I was like, cool. Then after delivery, not only will this terribly annoying person tell me that they didn't want that, but also install a whole laundry list of new instructions and problems and things to consider that I was not previously told. If someone does not give me very much information, or it seems like vague, generic, it's like incomplete, and I get that sense from them, I 100% will ask for more information to make sure I totally understand. But when you are so ultra specific about this one little thing, that sounds to me like we're good. You've done your brief, you know what you want. That's what I'm gonna do. So to get the whole way through the order process and then realize that that's not actually what you want, that's not actually my fault. Sorry. And so every time that that's happened, it always turns into this giant like demand for me to redo everything, which I will not stand for. I'm sorry, I don't do revisions much in general because I have such a strong belief that your brief should be accurate and that will result in an accurate delivery. And so if there's a problem on your end with the brief, that doesn't mean that my delivery is wrong. My delivery was just matched to the brief in the first place. That's probably not matching every single freelancer's philosophy, but that does match mine personally. And so then it just turns into this big old dumpster fire of like demanding free work. I've had people like say like, oh, I'll give you a 5-star review if you just do this. I talked to customer service and they told me to cancel. And then I'm also talking to customer service because they're on my side too. And they're like, nah, we didn't say that, bro. And it's a mess. And so that just turns into this big old thing. And because I'm so staunchly like, you told me what to do, you can pay for a new order if that's what you want with new instructions, but I am not just gonna redo everything because you changed your mind. Because honestly, the thing that I'm pretty sure will happen is I will re-deliver for free with this new, completely different set of instructions, and then I guarantee they'll change their mind again, or they'll still not know what they want, or they'll still be in draft mode of like determining what they need to say. And I'm not gonna do that. Nope. Separate from actual orders, although some of them have happened at the end of orders, the worst customer stories are honestly the ones that are just like offensive to me as a young woman. I have had several rape threats. I've had a lot of people just like, I'm gonna call it attack, although that's way too strong of a word, like message me over and over and over saying like, you're so hot, send me nude pictures, can I be your boyfriend? If I come to the United States, will you show me around? Where do you live? I wanna come date you. And then, you know. Another annoying bias situation is just when they don't respond. Like, oh my God, please message me back. Please message me back. I had one guy who filled in the requirements blank. He literally said like, as discussed. And we had never messaged about this before. So he places the order as discussed. And I'm like, what the do you want me to write about? This doesn't make any sense. So I message him right away, like literally 2 minutes after he places the order. Hey, I need information from you. And it says he's online. So like 3 hours later, I check it again and it still says he's online. I'm like, hey, I still need information from you. I can't do this. Fast forward 4 days later, I'd messaged this guy probably 7 times a day. It said he was chronically online. He's active. He's on the site. And finally, it was like coming down at the end of the wire. I was having to decide, am I going to cancel this order, which I don't want to do obviously because I'd like to do the order and I'd like to get paid for it. And also cancellation affects Fiverr sellers negatively for any reason. So,
well, I'm kind of a little bit different. As a pro seller, I have a customer success manager so I can get them to like take them off my account.
But for everybody else, it's a negative thing. So if you're gonna place an order, only do so with the actual intent that you're going to have them complete it. Otherwise it can actually hurt their rating. Fun fact. So I was at the point where I was like, do I need to cancel? I don't want to do that, but I also literally can't do that as is, and I can't extend because if they don't respond to the extension, then I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. So finally, at the end, the guy messages me back one time and literally just yelled at me for trying to get in touch with him, like all caps shouting at me. And he was saying that he has a team, so his team members were always online, but he couldn't check his message. And I'm like, then why the didn't they tell you that I'm trying to get in touch with you? So yeah, we had to cancel that one. All right, here's a kicker. This is a specific one I actually remember really well. I had a jewelry company that I was working with, and I had one order with them that was massive. It was like 40 products or something. And I finished the whole thing. They loved it. I got a great review on it. It was a really good experience. I genuinely enjoyed the project. The design's really cool. I enjoy describing them. And so a couple months later, it wasn't even very long, I think it was like maybe 2 months later, they came back and they placed another order. And so I started off with like, hey, welcome back. So excited to work with you again. I loved the previous project. Like, I'm excited. All they did was just provide the pictures. So I was like, cool, we're going on the same brief as before. And so I wrote the second set of descriptions the same as the first. No other reason to think not, right? Like, I have a lot of repeat customers who continue and come back for like continuing to extend their inventory. So the next order is going to be just part of the same inventory. That's what the deal is. And so when I had absolutely no instructions except the new photos, I reverted back to the old way. They loved it. I loved it. It was great. And then I get this scathing message about how the tone is completely wrong. I'm just being a freaking idiot for thinking that this sounded good. Like, why would I ever describe things in this way? And I'm like, whoa, brakes, bro. This is exactly the style that I had for you before. I'm like literally putting them side by side and I'm like, this is what you loved. Do you not love this anymore? Why did, No, we want a high-end, luxurious, like targeting like 50s and 60s, like super different tone of voice. And I'm like, okay, but you literally didn't tell me that. There's no way in hell that I could have read your mind to know that. No way. So they said like, basically, you need to redo all of them. Again, it was a gigantic order. They're like, you need to rewrite everything. I was like, so you want me to just like swap out some adjectives? Like, I could do that quickly. That's a light edit. I will do that for you for free. That was like my little like, I'll try to play ball. And they were like, absolutely not. None of this can be salvaged. You have to do the whole thing again. And I'm not paying for an extension. It's due in like 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. And nah, man. There you have it. There's just me ranting. That was my cathartic release of all of this negative energy. Like I said, I honestly get super fired up about it. If you are like me, I'm super curious in the comments if you'll like say like, oh my God, that's me too. I just like blow up and lose my shit. Sorry, I've been so good about censoring all of this language because usually I'm in my personal life, I've got a little bit of a sailor's mouth now. But anyway, I just lose it over these orders. And honestly, for the next like 3 days, I'm just fuming. The only thing I can think about is this stupid order and like this terrible interaction. And I have such a hard time letting go of it, especially because I stick to my guns and I fight for it. My husband's always like, just cancel, just give them their money, just like let them go. And on principle, I'm like, I can't do it. I'm such a principle-based person. Like I said, I know it's right. Like, I believe so strongly in what I did. And like, if I ever make a mistake, I'm the first person to fix it. But if I don't make a mistake, then I'm like, this isn't valid. It's not real. It's not right. Like, this is not how you treat people. And there's such an easy way to like talk and collaborate and say like feedback, even if it's negative, in a way that's like constructive. And so when people just blast through that and just shout at me in all caps, and I'm just like, no, I'm not having it. Like, even if I do have to keep a negative review on my profile, like some of those are, I will honestly take that hit and not give them their money back. Like, I need to rethink my system. Those are my worst customer stories. Like I mentioned, most of them are not super duper specific. I wasn't planning on like naming usernames or companies or anything anyway. Of course, that's not what I'm here for, but mostly they are just amorphous memories that I'm trying to release and let go of. And for the most part I have. So I don't remember the super specifics of them just because I'm trying so hard to just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go. Next week, be sure to stop in again for Freelance Friday. I would love if you'd subscribe to my channel if you're interested. Again, I do Freelance Fridays every Freelance Friday. You guessed it, there we have it, pretty clear name. Next week, I'm talking about tips on how to deal with difficult people, the things that I tell myself I should do more often, and then actually some things that really do work. I know that my kind of philosophy is probably a lot more stringent than other freelancers. I know a lot of people have like a 100% money back guarantee, unlimited revisions, like just, I'm here for your satisfaction. And while I am here for your satisfaction, I'm also here for like protecting myself and my time and my energy and making sure that people take the collaboration very seriously and are prepared from start to finish. So yeah, my take might be a little bit more stringent than some other people, but I think that the tactics that I've got going on have definitely helped me to weed out those people, and I have way fewer of those really bad experiences now than I did definitely at the beginning of my career. So I'm really excited to do that and talk with you about that next week. In the meantime, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you like it, please, it would really mean the world to me. If you're still watching, you're my actual hero. Thank you so much. And of course, comment down below if you have a topic that you would like me to talk about on a future Freelance Friday video. I am so here for that and giving kind of curated advice on this channel. So that's it. I'm wishing everyone happy clients, happy experiences, good freelancing vibes for all, and let's get back to work.